I don't know if
Mm.
you guys have been paying attention and seeing what was going on these days right now, as of today, with Miss Fani Willis. But we could not start off this podcast and not address her and how she's been acting a doggone fool in them Senate hearings regarding her handling and her and what's his name, her boo. So I'm gonna let Stag go ahead because she was ready to go and talk about what she thinks about this situation, and then of course I'm gonna bring in some clips of let y'all see exactly what I said she was showing and acting a donkey. But go ahead,
Mm-hmm.
Stag.
So what I was gonna, when we were talking backstage, I was getting into the fact that people are focused on the wrong thing. They think that they're probing her about her relationship with Nathan Wade. Nathan Wade. That is a side product of what they're interested in. They want to know how much money did she spend, and there's I remember earlier on they were talking about the approval process for his hiring. She was supposed to get county approval. She didn't do it. Um, there was some way with the money, the way that it was flowing, that she was the only person approving his hours that he was billing himself for. So they want to know how much did they spend, and the legislative aspect of this that they're looking for is to put safeguards in so that somebody just don't have all access to spend whatever kind of money they want with no oversight.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the big picture of it. But yeah, she looked a doggone fool, and that man up there asking the questions was so calm, and he would
Yes,
just
he
let
was.
her rant, and then be like, "So I you didn't answer my question. Is that a yes or a no?"
Exactly. It was
So,
actually pretty funny. Um,
mhm. She looked a fool.
she looked an absolute fool.
And all of that theater and smart mouthing and all the little snack, it was a distraction from the fact that she wasn't answering those questions they were
Uh-huh.
asking.
Yep, that's exactly it. And then it was what was more funny to me is because she was intentionally when they asked her to at the beginning when they asked her to talk about herself and who she is and what she had done. Hey Shahid, hey,
Hmm.
welcome in.
Hey, Shahid.
She and they were asking her, and she went through all this, talking about how who she is and what she did and how she accomplished this and accomplished that. And I was sitting here thinking like, all that sound good, but the way you acting right now is
Hmm.
definitely not a great reflection on any of that stuff that you call yourself bragging about right now.
Hmm.
But
She
she,
feels untouchable,
yeah.
and she's a racist. She's a racist. She's a
Oh
big
my
old racist.
God. Did
Oh,
you
she's a big old racist.
did you see did you see her continue race baiting?
Hmm.
Like
Yes,
it
indeed.
was
She
real,
kept on with it.
it was something else. Like I could not I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. I'm trying to
But
get
she
to
wasn't really
a good
confident
point
when she
just to
wasn't
kind of.
talking. You could hear her heavy breathing on that microphone. She was, like I said, deflecting from the questions, given all of that. Those sound bites that I'm sure CNN
Mm-hmm.
and all of them are gonna be using of what she was actually saying. But really, she was just not answering the questions,
None.
or
Not
she
at
was getting
all.
twisted up. And she's not very smart because she kept getting twisted up in those smart answers because she was too busy trying to, be smart mouth. She
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really thinking about the answers that she was giving.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, y'all, I know you may not have seen any of it today, so we want to share just a little snippet with you guys of how old Fani, Miss Graduate of the top law school and graduate of Howard University, how she was acting
and
on the
Emory
national stage.
University is not the top law school in the country. She need to quit
She
lying.
said top 25. That's what she said. All right. Let you
Oh,
guys in the chat, if you're here, can you please let me know if you make sure that you can hear this playing through the screen?
I can't hear it. Can't hear it, Mo.
Can't hear nothing.
Nope. I thought you could hear me. I was saying that.
You can't hear anything.
No. I think
Oh,
when you play video, you have to mute yourself, and then the sound will come through, and then come off of mute once you finish playing.
okay. Hold on. I think this will be it.
I'm a
Hold
mute
on.
too because I got an echo. It's an echo.
Okay. Hold on a minute, guys. We had this
in the
person.
2020 election. So it's your testimony today that you and Mr. Wade did not have any conversations prior to you taking office relative to an investigation into the 2020 election.
Don't answer that. That is a deliberative privilege of what goes on in a district attorney's mind and the process it goes.
She wasn't district attorney.
She was.
Prior to being sworn in, she was district attorney?
No, she was not, but you asked.
Until I return to my question. Prior to you being sworn in as district attorney, is it your testimony today that you did not have any conversation with Mr. Wade about investigating the 2020 election?
Do you want to answer?
It's a dumbass question.
I know it is, but go ahead and tell it because it occurred after she took office, but go
I
ahead.
didn't know that he was going to commit a crime prior to me taking office. Like, factually, it's impossible.
Okay, thank you. Would you agree with the statement? Actually, I'll skip that question. When did you decide to hire outside of your office a special assistant district attorney for this election case?
Oh, Lord. So when I became the district attorney of Fulton County, the office was in absolute chaos. I have to take you back. Can you hear me?
It's a little, I was gonna try to turn you up if you don't mind waiting for it.
When I became the district attorney of Fulton County, the office was in absolute chaos. And I mean every level of chaos. On the ground, the carpet was molded and there were holes in it and it was disgusting, a disgusting environment. There were boxes in offices, some to where you couldn't open the door.
Okay.
I remember walking.
Okay. Is it just me, or does this have anything to do with the question he just asked her? Hold on.
Absolutely nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing. The deflection. I got an echo.
Like, hold on. Okay, do I have an echo now?
No.
Okay. I got it. I got this now. What I need to do. Okay. Yeah. I just, and then you see the way she was sitting, linked in the seat, and and then you want somebody, Madam DA or this, like, but the way that her body language, I just had to
Hey,
pause.
bro.
I had to pause for that
What's
moment
your
just to
respect?
y'all in the chat. If y'all think
Got
that
an
this is a
echo.
great representative of a highly ranked, educated district attorney of Fulton County, Georgia, if you think this display of how she's displaying herself is a great representation on black women, whatever you want to call African American women, please let me know what you think. Let us know what you think in the chat. All right, we're gonna go ahead.
The office before. I told you I fired 50 or 60, I don't know exactly how many employees that I felt were unqualified to do this work. That doesn't mean they were bad people, but they were unqualified for the positions that they held. Um, there were 18,000, write that down, 18,000 unindicted cases that went back 6 or 7 years that I was looking at. Not to mention another 10,000 indicted cases in the system. Now, some that the judges had heeded on judicial hold, but they were still there. So the office was in absolute chaos. And then I'm in office in the office on, I came in that Saturday, so that would have been day one. That was the day that I walked through the office. And I'm literally in the office that Monday or Tuesday, I can't recall now what day it is. And there's this phone call and the Secretary of State saying, oh, the proper venue to investigate this might be Fulton County. And so my priority became, and this is important too, there were 200 and something murders that had been sitting for years, families that had been waiting for justice for years.
Okay. Okay. I can't. I can't. So I'm
Nothing to
sorry.
do with the question.
The conclusion so far today was that she was a great deflector. She was
Mm-hmm.
disrespectful. Cause here I'm trying to get to this part where she was super 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 rude. And my question would be is if she was in court and she was the prosecuting attorney and the defendants were talking to her in the way that she was talking, saying they not gonna answer something the way that she was doing, like would that wouldn't be okay? Am I wrong or right?
No, it wouldn't be okay. I don't
So
know why I got an echo.
hold on. So go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
Um, I still got an echo. Can you hear the echo? Or is it just me? Can you hear it? Maybe it's just me. Let me see.
It's just you because I'm listening on through YouTube too, and there's no echo like it was
Okay.
before.
Oh no, I just put myself in my earphone. My bad. But no, that wouldn't go over well in a courtroom because um I don't think any real well she did it when in that hearing though, so we can't even say that she did it in the hearing about her being disqualified.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But that's I guess that's where my biggest problem is because she would 100% want people to respect her and in the position that she's in, and she was 1000% disrespectful to that guy. And then she
Mhm.
kept trying to throw in, oh, he running for governor, so that's why he trying to do this and that. And then she was trying to say how, let me see where I'm at now. See if
And although I had talent in the office that was being developed, each and every member of my staff had a priority. See, this is the most important case to you. Let me tell you what the most important case was to me. When I walked in the office, there had been two black children that had been killed. Sequoia Turner and Kennedy Maxwell. Those were the two most important cases to me as a DA. And I needed to make sure that those families got justice, but the cases didn't come with a bow on them. In fact, one of the cases was particularly not done properly. And so my priority became making sure I had the talent to make sure we got all of those cases done. If you're wondering, both those men are doing life right now for taking those children from us.
Certainly aware of the case and the autonomous zone and everything that happened back in that
I'm sorry, my face.
time frame. So definitely appreciate those murderers being behind bars. So you didn't really give me a date range, but we'll just move on here. But you did consider Governor Barnes for this role. He's testified to that previously.
And let me tell you what Governor Barnes told me. Governor Barnes told me when he was the governor, he changed the state flag from the Confederate flag. And that as a result of him changing the Confederate flag to changing the flag to make it more inclusive to all Georgians, that the Ku Klux Klan sat outside his house and that he lived under threat during that time period. He told me that him and his beautiful wife had survived that, but that he was an older gentleman now. I'm gonna say that nicely. He was an older gentleman, and due to the nuts that would come out of the woodwork if I was doing this type of work, that he was not at a juncture in his life where he could take those kind of security risks. He also refused to work for $250 an hour.
I can attest to that.
We've got some questions in here, Governor, on your rates, and maybe we'll get to.
Okay.
With
Okay.
anything?
Yeah. So, whew, I see it's Rashid. I'm sorry, Shahid. I just fixed it. Thank you. Let me know, Shahid, if it's good now. Let me take this out of here. Let me. I can't no more with Fanny. Like
You
they
know what I would like to know is, has crime decreased since she has been district attorney? Because she keeps talking about all this crime fighting she doing. Somebody get her a case.
would you like for me, the resident fact checker, to check and see if crime has decreased with
I'm just
her
saying this is
being the district attorney? Because she really she too. I ain't got no problem with people being confident in themselves, but she
Mhm.
is probably a little too confident.
She
And
was saying she's the best prosecutor in Georgia.
but if you was, well, you might be the best. I mean, potentially she could be the best, but she obviously is not that bright, because the way that she was doing everything and saying everything in regards to like how the money was being spent, and it just it was not smart at all for her to be so smart, like, especially when she know that she was having relations with that man. Now my question is, it's nothing wrong with them having relations, is it?
Yes, it's against their ethics
Okay.
in the Georgia ethics, because he was a subordinate. Also, one of the questions that they tried to drill down is this echo. I got it was not an echo, but I hear myself. The why did she have to um why did she have to hire outside counsel, right? Because one of the questions they asked was, they have some attorneys in her office that get paid $200,000 a year plus $50,000 in benefits, right? And of
Mhm.
all the attorneys that you have in your office, you couldn't have nobody was qualified to prosecute this case. So that's one of the questions that they want answered. Like, why did you have to even hire outside counsel? And not just one, but she hired three outside counsels. And the one guy, he wrote the book on Rico, but Nathan Wade was getting paid more than he was, and he's not even prosecuted in Rico case. So she got to explain that.
He didn't have a lot of experience, period, though, wrong or right.
No, he didn't. He was a traffic court judge. He wasn't even a prosecutor.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay, I'm over here doing sound tests. Do you still hear echo for you?
Yes.
We
It's
don't
not
hear
an
no echo
echo.
though.
It's that I could hear myself really loud. I never had that problem before.
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
listening. We don't. We the people, as Grandma say, we don't have an echo for
Okay.
you.
Okay.
So it
It's just
could
me hearing
also be because I
myself.
had my headphones set at first where I could hear what was going on, and that was driving me crazy.
Hmm.
Hearing myself talk in my ear and out of my mouth. So I don't look. I
Hmm.
can't help and tell and say what I did to change it, because I don't know what else is going on legal wise regarding things. What updates do we have, or do
Well,
you
I
have
got some.
regarding the birthright citizenship?
There is no new update yet, but in the legal field, this is something that I saw right before we came on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it appears that they have released internal communications of
Mm-hmm.
the Justice Department underneath the Biden administration, and it showed that the FBI, the Washington, D.C. field office, had told the DOJ that there was no probable cause to raid Mar-a-Lago. And they said
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, because I gotta put it out here. They say screw it, do it anyway.
So, and you're saying when they raided with that big issue, and they tried to do they were actually doing a suit against him then, where they was going through Melania's uh underwear
Hmm.
drawer and all that stuff. So
Yes,
now they saying
indeed.
that they
But it
wasn't supposed to do
turns
that
out
too.
they didn't even have probable cause. But this is the interesting thing, is because this was in Florida, we have a better chance there.
Mm-hmm.
The judge who is still trying to hold them in contempt, even though the Supreme Court told them that he's out of line, he's still trying to hold them in contempt. Um, he also prosecuted some of the January Sixers. He also he's had his hands in a whole lot of stuff. Just say that. He's their go-to judge to get whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
He's exposed himself, so.
Mm-hmm. Um. Oh, we got to do too. I have been happy about. I've been listening to a lot of people, a lot of attorneys and a lot of people who are on both sides of the aisle, who are kind of talking about just the fact that the key thing and what's so important in regards to this whole birthright citizenship thing is the fact that they added that piece and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, and
Mhm.
and they're feeling like they never actually delved deep into why that was added, and kind of just went to the assumption that it was just meaning jurisdiction, you are on this land so you are under this jurisdiction,
Mhm.
and but that's not necessarily how it would go, because that person, in order to, when you become a United States citizen, or you want to become a citizen, you have to swear an oath and allegiance to this country. So
Mhm.
if that has not been done, why, and we know a newborn baby can't do it, why would it automatically be given to a newborn child of parents who had not done it either, just because they were on this soil? And I've been listening to a lot of people, like I said, a lot more legally smart than I am, and that is what they're believing now, potentially maybe running through or going through the heads of the Supreme Court justices.